What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about what happened to Pavlov Shack and honestly where I think it went wrong. In my opinion, Pavlov Shack had so much potential. I remember when people were actually excited to play this game. There were always people making maps, trying different game modes, and just having fun. But now, honestly, I don't think Pavlov feels like the same game anymore. And one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, is that mods basically took over the game. Don't get me wrong, I think the modding community is one of the best things about Pavlov, but I don't think the developers should have gotten to the point where the community was carrying so much of the game's playability. A lot of the game, a lot of the most interesting things people play Pavlov for came from community made content. And whenever major updates happened, older custom content could become incompatible, which made things even more complicated for the modding community. And then there's probably one of the biggest changes, making Shack paid. Now I understand why they wanted to do it. The game had been in beta for a long time and eventually they wanted to release the full version. But personally, I think they could have handled that transition way better. If they were going to make the game around $20, I think they should have kept a free beta or trial version. Let let the new players actually try the game. Let them experience the weapons, the maps, the game modes, and the community. Then they could say, okay, this game is actually great. I'm going to spend $20 on it. And when they bought the full game, there should have been a much bigger feeling of, okay, this is the full version. More maps, more official game modes, more customizations, better progression, better gun skins, more character customization, and just more reasons to keep playing. I'm not saying Pavlov needed to become some giant free to play game with a million microtransactions. I just think there should have been more of a difference between the beta and the full game. And honestly, I think cosmetics could have been a much bigger part of the game from the beginning. Imagine if the full release had launched with really good looking gun skins, character outfits, weapon customizations, and other things that actually made your loadout feel like your loadout. And I don't think the game needed to completely change either. The shooting was already fun, the VR mechanics were already good, the community was already there. I think the developers just needed to build on what people already loved. Keep supporting the modders, but at the same time keep adding enough official content that players don't feel like they have to depend on mods for something new. Give people events, give people new maps, give people new weapons, give people reasons to come back. Because, in my opinion, Pavlov didn't fail because it was a terrible game. I think it had one of the best foundations a VR shooter could have had. I think it just needed better long term decisions, and that's what makes it frustrating. Because when I look at Pavlov now, I don't think this game was always bad. I think this game could have been so much bigger.